So this video is going to quickly run through some of the key features of this uh, student-facing progress tracker. So this very first page is a breakdown of all the lessons that are happening within this particular unit. Each of these lessons live links to the actual tab of the lesson down below. My students have access to this sheet. They just have viewing rights, not editing rights. So they can get to all the lessons and all the links. They cannot change anything on this tab. I'm going to go ahead and skip talking about what happens here, and we're going to go ahead and hop over to the first lesson so I can talk about some of those formatting issues or formatting things that I do in there, and then I'll come back to this page because I think it will make more sense. So if I hop over to lesson one, first of all, some things to highlight. So each of these is live linked to the actual assignment, that the learning activity that the kids are going to do. We use Schoology at my school, and so this links directly to the Schoology page that holds all of the instructions and potential materials and resources for this particular activity. I actually just have students use this tracker as sort of their home base, not Schoology. So they do not spend much time, if any time, navigating Schoology itself. They use this tracker to get to where they need to go. So I have an on-pace finish date. I have all of my students. I have my color code over here on the right side of the screen. So when a student finishes something and shows proficiency, I simply type a 1 in. So I have conditional formatting set up. So my conditional formatting, if there was nothing in this box, it would just be white. So when I type in a 1, it automatically changes it to green. If I typed in an R for revise, it would automatically change to yellow. And if I type in an M for check in with me, it changes to red. I have formulas down here that will take the sum of all of my must-do activities. So I highlight anything that's a should do in blue. So these are all my blue should do's. I have kids that did those should do's. They're marked green. They were proficient. And then I have kids that skipped those should do's. So they stay blue. I use purple to designate aspire to. So if there was purple here, it'd be the same thing. So I sum up in this cell right here all of the must do's. And so in this case, it's going to be activity 1A, 1B, and 1D. So I sum those up. And then down here, I just have a formula that if the sum equals the number of must-dos, then they automatically get a check mark. If it doesn't, then they're not going to get a check mark. So it's pretty straightforward. It's really easy for me to walk over in the middle of class and just type in a 1 after I've talked to somebody, so I can keep this updated relatively easy as I move through class. And that's kind of how it looks on all of these. So again, we've got all these kids have finished everything that they needed to do, all their must-dos, except for a handful that have a couple of missing activities. Now, I'm going to pop back over to this first page and just show you what this is, how this is set up. So I have a formula here. It's an array formula, and it basically says if lesson 1, because I'm in lesson 1, if this check mark is here, then it's automatically going to make this turn green. If there is not a check mark, then it's going to stay white. So I actually don't do anything on this page. It automatically updates for me. And this is where the kids drop to each time they come into the tracker, because I want them to know, first of all, which lesson they need to start off on, and then they can easily jump over to those different lessons and do that.